네, 오늘은 LA 카운티 소방국에 왔습니다. 오늘은 줄리아 킴 LA 카운티 소방국 부국장님과 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. Hello, Deputy Chief.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Could you introduce yourself to our viewers, please?
Sure. My name is Julia Yudi Kim. I'm currently the Deputy Chief Business Operations for the LA County Fire Department. My working title is actually the Admin Deputy. That's probably what county world would be the most familiar with.
Okay, so most people wouldn't know. Can you tell us the difference between LA City Fire Department and LA County Fire Department?
Yes, and I'll do it in as simple as a way as possible so it doesn't trip me up.
Okay.
It's about jurisdictions. So Los Angeles City Fire Department, their jurisdiction is the City of Los Angeles. LA County Fire Department, we serve about 60 contract cities, but also the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles.
So it's like difference between LAPD and LA County Sheriff?
Correct, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you did introduce yourself, but can you explain the exact role and what your position is?
Yes. I'm one of the only civilian deputy chiefs, civilian administrative deputy chief for LA County Fire. So my bureau consists of, it's Administrative Services Bureau, and it consists of the Human Resources Division, Materials Management Division, Information Management Division, and Financial Management Division. So basically we are the administrative support arm for the LA County Fire Department.
If you could explain a little more easier for our viewers, what would you do?
To truly really simplify it, we are the civilian staff that ensures that LA County Fire Department employees get paid.
Okay, important.
That's the most important thing. That's why I listed it first. But also, just ensuring that there's the infrastructure there to support the fire department. So, for example, Information Management Division, that's our tech, essentially like the tech support. They're in charge of our computers, all of our electronic devices, our radios. Materials Management Division, they're in charge of like orders for equipment. Financial Management Division, they're really critical for purchasing things like our personal protective equipment for our firefighters, but also our engines and our apparatus for fire and lifeguard.
Oh, and lifeguard also.
Yes, yes. Oh, I should note, that's also what distinguishes LA City from LA County. LA County, we also have lifeguards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to pursue your career in county fire department?
I wish I had an inspiring and an amazing origin story, and I don't. Back in 2015, I should actually go further back, probably 2 years before that, I was practicing as an attorney, and I ran into a friend of mine who worked for LA County Fire. She was also she had attended law school with me, trying to convince me to join LA County Fire, not as a practicing attorney, but as an internal investigator. And I was not interested at the time. I was practicing as an attorney. I wanted to spend a few more years, getting that actual, legal practicing under my belt. But probably about a year later, I thought that I needed a little bit more stability and security, less hours at work. Being an attorney is long hours. So I decided to join the fire department, and so January 2015 I started employment with LA County Fire. I started off as an internal investigator, so I did essentially it's internal affairs for the fire department, and I did internal investigations for about 2 years. And most people have asked me, did that change your opinion of the fire department? Because when you're doing internal investigations,
You see all the nasty stuff.
you're not seeing people on their best day.
Yeah.
And it did change my opinion. It actually raised the level of respect that I have for not just our firefighters, but our lifeguards as well. Because I was seeing them on their worst day. They were afraid they were going to lose their job. But they were always very respectful. And one of the things that I noticed about them is they loved their job.
Oh, wow.
They loved their job. They loved this career. They were very grateful to be employed as a LA County firefighter or an LA County lifeguard.
So let's move on to next questions. And I heard there is a very limited representation of Korean Americans in fire department and also in safeguard, right?
Yes.
Can you promote the advantages of being a firefighter?
I would love to. I think we all probably have a shared experience across all Asian communities that growing up, our parents probably really only promoted and encouraged, I'm going to say 2 life paths because that was my experience, and that was.
Let me guess. I can guess. Attorney and a doctor.
Oh my gosh, you're psychic. Exactly. I actually recently heard a couple of my other friends said, well, what about accountant and engineer? Those were never options for me. But apparently some people, they've expanded it. They've really broadened their horizons, and now they're going to from 2 to 4. But I think that's the reason why Asians don't really consider certain careers as options. But I do believe that it's not just fire, but like police, lifeguard, fire. Those are very prestigious, courageous. The community has very high respect for those career paths. I do think that it's because of the way that we were raised. That's what's reflected on our workforce. We have probably, amongst our firefighters, there's only 3% of our firefighters that are Asian. There's a little bit more in our lifeguards. I think we have almost 4% Asian representation in our lifeguards. This year, we are planning on opening our entry-level firefighter position. I'm hoping, with the assistance of our recruitment unit, that we really promote and encourage anyone who's eligible to apply to really consider, either fire or lifeguard as a viable career option. We have great benefits. Our medical plans are great, especially for our safety-sensitive employees. There's such a great high level of job satisfaction for both our firefighters and lifeguards. I mean, what's better than being perceived as heroes? Because I can tell you that not once has anyone ever looked at me as being a hero as an attorney. So.
And what we are most curious about, 그냥 일반인들 are very curious about all the pensions and benefits. Can you share us with that?
I'll tell you, when I first started in the fire department, I had no idea anything about pensions and benefits. I mean, obviously, because I was in private employment, I worked as an attorney. County employees, civil service employees also get pensions, whether you're a firefighter or whether you're a lifeguard or a police officer. It's just pension benefits are higher because for safety-sensitive employees, their percentages and their plans are typically better. So basically what a pension is you have to meet a certain number of years of service, meaning you have to be employed as a firefighter, a lifeguard, or a police officer for a certain number of years. And once you reach the number of years and you also have the age, you actually can retire and you get a percentage of your income per month for the rest of your life. I think that even for our safety sensitive and non-safety sensitive employees, if you reach 25 years of employment, you get medical for the rest of your life. So those are huge benefits, especially when I think our economy is unstable.
Right. So if you start your job as like 22, let's say, and within 25 years, you can just retire and get medical benefit for the rest of your life.
And pension, you can get paid. So what happens is most of the times our lifeguards and our firefighters, they'll retire with their full medical and they get their pension, but that doesn't mean that their career is over. They go into consulting. Some of our firefighters will go on to become fire chiefs at other fire departments. So they continue to make an income. It's just the pension then becomes supplemental, which is amazing because that's not a small amount of money.
Percentage-wise, how much is it normally?
It depends on the age and how many years that you've retired. Yeah, but I mean, I know some of our firefighters. I mean, we typically make like the top 10 highly paid firefighters. I mean, we have some firefighters that can make sometimes up to anywhere between $250,000 to $500,000 a year. Yeah. I often say that I made a huge mistake in choosing law as my career, but
Do you want to add anything about your family, your parents, how they come to States?
But no, I wanted to pay homage to my parents because, my parents immigrated here, I think like most of our parents did, with nothing. And my parents hustled You know, they worked, you know, for taxi companies, diners. Ultimately, my parents had a bar in Chicago, a bar and a liquor store. That's actually how my parents got the name Stephen and Diane. The bar patrons gave them their American names because they said that my mother must be Wonder Woman to be able to put up with my father. And I don't know if you probably are too young, but there's a show called Wonder Woman with Linda Carter. Do you remember? And her name was Diana, and her love interest was Steve. So they named my parents Stephen and Diane. So no, I really want to pay respect, you know, and acknowledge how much my parents sacrificed for us, you know, myself, my brother, and my sister, but also just in making me the person that I am, you know. I really believe that my father encouraged me to be independent. He didn't tell me I had to conform. I think a huge part of Korean identity is conforming to the norm. You know, don't stick out, you know, be better than everyone, but don't stick out. And my father was, he took pride in my individuality. He took pride in the fact that I really didn't care what other people thought about me. So I really think that it was that push-pull between my mother and my father that kind of created this person. So yeah, that's what I wanted. I just wanted to kind of go out and convey my appreciation and my gratitude to my upbringing.
Perfect. That was lovely. I think they will appreciate it too. And lastly, would you have any words to the Korean American community?
You know, I kind of mentioned it before, but for the Korean American community to really embrace the differences amongst ourselves, to celebrate those differences, to encourage it. One of the things that I've learned is that, and one of the things that I really think that it's important for Korean youth to know is that failing is not the end of the road. And I'm a prime example of that because I think I have failed a great deal in my life. I just learned to accept failure. I just never accepted defeat. That would be what I would want the Korean community to know.
네, 지금까지 줄리아 킴 LA 카운티 부국장님과 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you.